Hey there, my fellow barbecue enthusiasts. So you want to throw a barbecue for friends and family. You want it to be perfect, the barbecue to be phenomenal, everybody to have a great time, but you're struggling with trying to plan the timeline and the process. Well, you've come to the right channel because today, that's exactly what we're going to discuss. So stick around and don't go nowhere. And before we get started, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the notifications bell so in the future you'll get notified of all future videos that are coming out. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. I really do appreciate you, and I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's jump right into it. So there's 5 key components to figuring your barbecue timeline for today's cook. And today we're going to be using a 10-pound Boston butt as our protein of choice. So the 5 different components are, one is prep time, the next one is cook time, then you have rest time, and then you're going to have serve prep time, and then you're going to have a buffer. That buffer is key because it never fails, something goes wrong, as you know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about the time associated with each one of those. So on doing a 10-pound Boston butt, what I would have is I would have 1 hour of prep time. I'm figuring 10 hours of cook time. I'm figuring about 2 hours of rest time, about 30 minutes of serve prep time, and then an hour buffer because you just never know what throughout that process can go wrong. So the first thing you want to do in figuring up your timeline is decide what time is it that you're going to actually serve your guest. So in today's example, we're going to be serving our guest at 6:30 p.m. So we're going to work that timeline fully back from there to know when to start our prep and to go through each stage. So now that we know that our serve time is going to be 6:30 p.m., I'm using a 14-hour timeline. I'm going to back up from there to determine when do I have to start the whole process. So in this case here, I'm going to start the whole process at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. That's when I'm going to start prepping my Boston butt. That's when I'm going to get the smoker going and get everything ready to go on. So then at 5:30 a.m., I'm going to be putting my barbecue in the smoker, and I'm going to shut it down, let the temperature come to about 250 degrees, and I'm going to let that go, and I'm not going to touch it, not going to look at it for 7 hours. So then at 12:30, which is 7 hours later, I'm going to take the Boston butt out. I'm going to double wrap it in foil, put any kind of seasoning I want to on it at that time, spritz it, butter, whatever it may need, and I'm going to put it back in the smoker, and I'm going to let it go for the next 3 hours to approximately 3:30 or 4, and then I'm going to take it out of the smoker. I'm going to leave it in the foil. And this is going to be the time that you're going to rest. I think rest is a very important thing, making your barbecue taste good. So I've figured in 2 hours of rest time, you can either let that rest on the counter, still wrapped in foil. You can take it, like I do a lot of times, and I'll put that into my cooler, a dry cooler, wrap it in a towel, put it in there, let it rest for 2 hours. It's still going to be piping hot when you take it out, trust me. So then I'm going to take it out at approximately 6 p.m., and that's going to give me 30 minutes for serve prep time, where I'm either going to chop the Boston butt, I'm going to pull the Boston butt, but I'm going to get it ready for all of my guests to eat, everything cleaned up, and it's going to be setting out. So that has walked you through the timeline from the beginning to the end, but it's very important to have that built in. But I've also got that 1 hour buffer just in case something goes wrong. Maybe I go out to start the smoker and something doesn't go right there. Maybe I take the Boston butt out and try to go and get it prepped up. Something doesn't go right there. But there's plenty of things that can happen throughout that process, and that buffer is key. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you found it to be a little bit beneficial. Hopefully it helps you establish a timeline, and the next time you do that barbecue for your friends and family will help you make sure you've got it going from front to end, and that everybody has a great time, the barbecue's phenomenal, and everybody's patting you on the back as the pit master, saying how great of a job that you did. So thank you for joining me. If you would, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. Make sure you ring the notification bell so you get future notifications. And be sure and come back for all future videos. And so until the next time I see you, happy smoking.